Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Our morning meeting. I'm just zooming to it. I won't shoot you. Hello, everybody, and Hafide and happy holidays to you and yours. Jason Salas here in the newsroom, at least for a few more seconds, leaving the newsroom. Actually, more technically accurate. And trying to stay in frame. It is already proving to be a busy day here on the island. Of course, it is around 9:30 Monday morning, which means the late afternoon football games on Sunday throughout the country are wrapping up right now. I see the Patriots are getting rocked. The Niners won on a last-second field goal, and there are many, many 49er fans on Guam. But we're doing something a little bit different here today because, normally on morning meeting we get set up in the set and we do like a whole bunch of stuff and we let you guys know what's going on. But this morning I want to talk to you guys and introduce you to some friends of mine who you've probably seen from I-94, our FM radio station, because we've got some podcast stuff and some really interesting news that we want to share with you guys. Of course, it's the end of the year. We got a bunch of stuff going on. It's tradition here at KUM that we always do a end of year wrap up special. We do the top 10 stories of the year. This year, we're doing things a little bit different. We're actually going to show you the biggest moments from the last 10 years. A new decade is just a few weeks away, and there's a lot of history that we covered. So much stuff. We've got like literally petabytes of data that we can go through. So we're working on that, and we'll have that to you guys. I believe that's going to come out on New Year's Eve. But as for right now, I have been compiling the podcast stats, and we're going to go into... Okay, they're not on the air, so we're going to show you guys these wonderful people over here. Here's Vic.
Hey, Hafide! Happy holidays,
Tyler.
guys!
Hi,
Okay, and
Hafide.
we are seriously backlit, so I got to go around here. Because Mr. Sun is over that way, but we're going to talk to these guys. Okay, so... Tyler, I was looking for you feverishly last week because I had some news to deliver to you, and your eyes got as wide as globes.
Yeah.
Can you detail exactly what I told you?
So we were talking a little bit about the podcast, and I know you came in a few months prior to letting us know that our It's a Hang Thang podcast with Bell and Sage was the top downloaded, one of the top downloads. Now, Vic was
the second most.
Now, Vic was not here for the big news, but we have that podcast as the second most viewed and downloaded on the KUM Podcast Network, which is huge.
I know, for you guys. You guys like interview like a lot of influencers,
Yes.
a lot of like we deal with like newsmakers, so our stuff is really, really interesting for about maybe a day and a half, 2 days, and then like there's a little bit of like shelf life, that people debate. You guys actually have people from your generation and just interesting people like on Guam that people listen to this day.
Yes, our most recent one we dropped was with Brandy J. We've had Danica, Sunny D, Jose Antolon. We've had 4-piece band, the John Dank Show. So we had Bella and Sage, they're social influencers in the community of Guam, and they have a baby on the way. So we're definitely going to do another follow-up with them when...
Oh, they do? I didn't know they were expecting.
Yeah. So
Okay.
We'll definitely follow up with them, see how everything pans out.
Okay, so I do want to say, because you know me, I'm all into lists, I'm all into ranks and everything like that. I'm a college football geek, basically. So you guys were number 2, right? Number 1 was actually, what are the best Chamorro love songs of all time? And we put a special Uno playlist together. Yeah, so when you guys take backseat to JD Crutch, that's not a bad thing.
I know, man. We had to take the place of JD Crutch.
Yeah.
Something about that.
Okay, so Vic, what's been the most favorite interview that you guys have done for your It's a Hang Thang podcast over the last year?
That's a good one.
Joe Guam!
Joe Guam was a really good one we had on the podcast.
Joe's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's super cool.
He's so good. We just talked on and on about music, about life. Who else we have? Oh, man, I think I can't rank it. They're all so awesome. Awesome people.
Come on, man. You gotta give me something, dude.
Joe Guam was one
Top
of the...
three.
Top 3 would be Joe Guam, Bell and Sage, Joe Guam.
That was fun. Sky and Steven was pretty good too.
Yeah, Sky and Steven too. So it's...
Sky Baker and Stephen Gatewood.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm. That was a good...
well, theirs was about like making a relationship work long distance, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That is not easy.
It's not, and they had to literally break it down for us, and we're like, oh. Okay.
Tell you what, okay, Vic and Ty they're basically being judicious and they're trying to be nice. They don't want to show favoritism. So let me reverse polarity a little bit. What has been the most difficult interview that you've tried to do?
Oh, for me?
Yeah, because you either in terms of like trying to pull really solid responses out of people, or just like getting them to actually really open up, or
honestly, for me,
you were nervous, you got starstruck.
Are we gonna say the name or just?
No, you can if you want.
For me, it was because it's not something that I really know, and I had to do it alone. It would be the upcycling podcast, which is a good. I had learned a lot from the podcast. I went in with a lot of question marks, but then at the end of the podcast, I learned a lot about upcycling and everything around that, all the fashion and everything. So that would be the hardest one for me, but I loved it because by the end of it, I learned a lot.
Basically, because you're just not in your element. That's
no,
it's
I'm not all about
different world.
look at me. I'm not a fashion guy. I'm just simple. Wear shoes, whatever is right there in the closet, just grab it and wear it. So I'm not really about fashion. I hope Ty would have been there, but she had something to do.
But also, you do the One Micronesia podcast, which is hugely popular.
Yes, and enjoy that.
What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. I've always wanted to do something like this to really show light on the other Micronesians out there who are really doing good in the community. It's not always about us. We're doing all the wrong things, but there are people out there who are doing good, and I think the One Micronesia podcast is one of the good ways to really shine light in that area.
Now, the Micronesia community on Guam and all over the world, everybody tunes into that. They all jump in with comments, and they're also appreciative. And
so I can't wait for the next one. I don't know who it is, but we'll definitely hype it up for you guys on the Instagram.
Okay, so Ty, what has been either the toughest interview for you? You've been doing interviews since you were 8 years old here at KUN. What's been the toughest, the most emotional? Who did you fangirl over the most?
Okay, I don't really know so much about the fangirling part, but I do have a difficult interview. Now we know all of the people coming on. This person in particular, I'm not going to say who, was, they're kind of I guess you would say controversial kind of character. And, he kind of just threw some responses out there where I ended up actually taking a lot of the lead in it, just because, Vic was kind of I don't know what to say to that, honestly. So
those are hard.
So thankfully, I knew a lot about the person, their backstory, some of the other things that they do aside from the main thing they're known for, and I was able to run with that. Thankfully, saved the podcast on that one, but definitely gave some responses that were kind of okay, how do we turn this back around?
Yeah.
But
those ones are not easy.
Yeah, it was good because it was a bit of a challenge, but it worked out pretty well.
Okay, very nice. I've got so many of those stories I could share over the years from people absolutely went to pieces on me and just really opened up, or people that just were absolutely stone cold and didn't want to say anything, so you really have to pull it out of them. Man, you guys are crushing it on the podcast end, so thank you guys. I know you're in the middle of a show, so we want to give you guys time to get back to your what you guys know. Oops, Vic's already almost about to go on the air. Okay, thanks, guys.
Bye.
Congratulations again, man. Second most viewed.
Thank you. Go and check the podcast.
Second-
Do the Hang thing.
Second most downloaded podcast. Yeah, so you can subscribe to them. That's on the KUN Podcast Network. And on that note, before I go, I know a lot of people are like, man, your podcast network is awesome. We subscribe. And we thank you guys, each and every one of you. I know you guys were saying that, SoundCloud is cool. Not everybody uses SoundCloud. Spotify is all over the place, but not everybody has a Spotify login, or not everybody likes to use the Windows app or the Mac OS app. Okay, if you haven't heard by now, the KUN Podcast Network is also on Pandora. Pandora's a little bit more on the old school side, but it's basically like Amazon and Netflix for music. Everybody used to use Pandora back in the day. I used Pandora when it was still in beta back in 2004. It was known as the Music Genome Project back then. But you can find the KUM Podcast Network. Just go into Pandora, search for KUM Podcast, KUM Podcast Network. You think I'd know this by now. And it's super easy to find, and then you can get all of our back catalog. It's not like we just added it right now and we've got 3 episodes, because the last year and a half is missing. Every single podcast we've ever done is available to you. You can listen to it on any device. Use it when you're working out, when you're cooking, if you have a smart speaker, like a Google Home, or you have an Amazon Echo, you can use it on that. Just play it whenever you're doing stuff at the house. If you're in class, if you guys do that, don't blame me, teachers. But you can find us now. So we are on Spotify, we are on Pandora, as I just said. We're on SoundCloud, of course. That's OG. And then we're also on Apple Podcasts. So there is no excuse for you guys not to plug any of your digital devices into the KUM Podcast Network and get each and every one of our shows. We love doing it for you guys so much. You know, we've got the easy part. All we do is put the content together. You guys actually download it, comment on it, rate it, review it, share it, discuss it. And that's what makes it so meaningful to do here at KUM. So again, before I go, we want to tell you guys once again, we have our end of the year special. I know everybody looks forward to that, and we enjoy putting it together so much because it's a chance for us to hit the rewind button, look at all the amazing stories and the incredible people that we told. You know, we really like to tackle the highest of highs and the times where stories that we told are really, really difficult to tell, but those are the most meaningful moments in every year. And this year, we're actually taking a look at the last decade. So from the period 2019 all the way back to 2010, we are going to recap the biggest moments of that time. We're going to have some interactive features on our Instagram story, so make sure to check us out at KUM News for that. It's going to be on Twitter. It's going to be on YouTube. So we want to know what you guys think were the most meaningful moments of the last 10 years. That's a lot of time. So you guys have a little bit of time to put on your thinking caps and try and remember all the biggest moments. But we want to hear from you guys, and that's coming up very, very soon. All right. I think I'm going to go watch the Patriots get their butts handed to them for the fourth quarter, and I'll see you guys later on today. Bye-bye.